Everybody's playing a game.
Your bosses, they know when you're doing eye service.
Can actually only ever have one friend in the office.
And all for what? Hey, it's the Nigerian girl. When I initially joined the corporate space, there were certain things that did not exactly make sense to me. Like, I wanted to understand why did this happen the way it did. But then I could just deduce that corporate life is not for me, but that is my life right now. So I need to figure out a way to work around this entire thing. I interviewed a number of people to pick their brains on some of these things. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Now, in understanding some of this corporate drama, one of the major one is office politics, and in their defense, almost everyone is in a competition.
I know do this one. In the office space, we have means of like appraisals to check on your performance, and everybody wants to be at the top of their game. From your bosses to the subordinates, everybody's playing a game. So they are playing a game of either favoritism or they are playing a game of I want to look good, high service. So it's sure eating.
The office spaces where you have people around and politics usually happen. So you tend to see certain bosses, so to speak, have preference for some of their subordinates and they don't have preference for the other ones. And you see the subordinate also trying to achieve something through their bosses.
This is an unspoken rule. And the funny part about it is I never knew about this until I kind of saw certain signs that kind of like dictated that this was what was expected of me. Don't get me wrong, I personally do not think this is wrong, but I think it's unfair. But at the end of the day, who am I?
Line managers or supervisors, they expect that they find aside from you doing what is in your JD, there are some tasks that you should take ownership of. I remember my former working place. So my line manager used to say something like speed and accuracy, but not just in your JD, but in other things that pertains to like the finance field. So another thing about you doing above your JD is that you should not overdo yet. So like I mentioned one time ago that your bosses, they know when you're doing eye service, you get. So they're your bosses for a reason.
I remember a certain colleague that was given a task to do, and then the requester of the task had come back to say the task was not done or the task was done wrongly. Lucky for my colleague, he had evidence that he did exactly what this requester asked him to do, and he was able to clear himself from the whole mess.
It's just advisable, take screenshots, because at the end of the day, it will save you from shalaye. You don't need to come and start talking and talking. Just show it and period. That's it. You're good.
I try to be careful of the people I speak to or the people I bring around me. But at the end of the day, I've always had a thing for knowing who I count as friends and who acquaintances are really.
If you consider everybody as your friend and you go about telling everybody your business, then you kind of like create room for people to have things to use against you. I mean, you can have a good relationship with your colleagues and your teammates and be friendly with them, but they are work friends, they are not personal friends. My own personal clause, because at least I have a friend, is that you can only have one friend in the office, and it is easier when your units and your functions and your KPIs don't clash. Like, people don't have business with each other, apart from the fact that it's the same person that is paying people salary. But
Yeah. So I think I somewhat agree also. For me, I would say it's a general rule, like in life. It's not only about workplace. Like, you don't just get to bring people into your business when you don't get to know them that much. And I think in the 40th laws of power, there's one rule that says consider intentions. So even though that person is very close to you, there are some things you don't share with people. But in as much as we talk about that, I also so much believe that we don't just form boundary too much. You don't become rigid. You should always be flexible, watch people, understand them. And that's the very first thing I do in my life.
A personal experience of mine would be when I told someone something and then I heard it from someone else in another light and another meaning from what I told the person. I just learned my lesson from there.
Yes, please. Everything you say. So, I think growing up, there was this adage my father used to tell me that your mouth is a sword. So, whatever you say from your mouth can either make or break a person. So, whatever you say, even the littlest thing, can either destroy a person, make a person become greater. So,
Even in business, they'll tell you your word is your bond. Right? So, corporate space, office space, of course, there are some things that you don't say because you probably don't know who is hearing you, you don't know who the next person is, you don't know how far such information will travel, and you don't know what people or your bosses or anyone can make out of this information.
I have always known that corporate space is not a long-term plan for me. It's something I like and I wanted to explore, or I am exploring, but it's not something I would hold for a long-term plan. But while at it, I want to make the best of it. I want to learn and unlearn. I want to get wise in the whole tactics and just explore as much as I can. I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Bye.